Today's presentation is on Erin's Law. Erin's Law addresses childhood sexual abuse. If this is a subject that is sensitive to you, please feel free to step out and speak with a member of our Student Services team. If you choose to stay for the presentation, we ask that you be your most mature and respectful self, because you never know who around you may have personally dealt with sexual abuse. Here is the outline and learning objectives for our presentation. We will learn who Erin is, why we need to learn about Erin's Law, the definition of sexual abuse. We will also learn about some statistics in sexual abuse. We will learn what consent is and what consent is not. We will learn about healthy versus unhealthy relationships, what we can do if we learn that somebody is being abused, and what resources are available to people that are dealing with abuse. Erin's Law was initiated by Erin Marin, a woman from Schaumburg, Illinois, who was sexually abused as a child. Erin has become an activist for sexual abuse prevention because she felt that if she had more knowledge of sexual abuse as a child, she may have reported her own abuse sooner. Here are some statistics to put this presentation into perspective. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. 90% of sexual abuse victims will be abused by somebody they know and trust.
Delayed disclosure is the norm, not the exception.
It is estimated that only 1 of 10 victims will ever disclose their abuse.
Children of every gender, age, race, ethnicity, background, socioeconomic status, and family structure are at risk. No child is immune, and no demographic is without issue.
Sexual abuse is defined as any kind of sexual touching or contact where the victim does not or cannot give consent. This means that if you have not asked your partner before starting a sexual encounter and gotten a clear yes, then you do not have consent. In Illinois, the legal age of consent is 17, meaning that anyone under 17 cannot legally give consent to sexual activity. Anybody aged 16 or younger is not able to legally give consent. If a minor engages in sexual activity with somebody 17 years or older, the person that is older can be charged with criminal sexual assault. Healthy relationships occur when 2 people develop a connection based on mutual respect, trust, and honesty. In a relationship, you have the right to be respected and treated as an equal while honoring your limits. You have the right to say no when someone asks you out or asks you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. You have the right to have friends and the right to spend time away from your dating partner. You have the right to have your own feelings and ideas and to be able to share them without worrying about how your partner will react. You have the right to have your privacy respected, including conversations, phone calls, text messages, social networking, and emails. And finally, you have the right to refuse physical touch with anyone at any time for any reason. Unhealthy relationships are defined as relationships in which physical, sexual, psychological, verbal, or emotional abuse takes place. This can include, but is not limited to, intimidation, which is creating fear with looks, actions, or behaviors, including destroying property. Emotional abuse, which includes minimizing, humiliation, and violating trust. Harassment. This can be either digital through the internet or texting, verbal, or sexual abuse. Coercion is pressuring for sex and is a form of sexual abuse. Psychological abuse can include threats, mind games, emotional blackmail or humiliation, isolation from friendships, limiting friendships, keeping people away from their friends or family. What can you do if you or someone you know has been sexually abused? Know and assert your relationship rights. Trust your gut. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to walk away in any situation. Don't blame yourself. Many victims tend to put the blame on themselves, which in sexual assault or an abusive relationship is never the case. You can help support someone by letting them know that it is not their fault and they do have the right to a healthy and supportive relationship. If you have ever been or know of somebody who has been sexually assaulted or in an abusive relationship, you should seek out a trusted adult or contact local authorities immediately. The Student Services Office is a safe place to talk to a counselor, social worker, or psychologist. It does not matter how long ago the abuse occurred. If you would like to set up an appointment, please email your counselor or social worker. You can also stop by Student Services, which is right across the hall from the attendance office. Within DeKalb County, we are fortunate to have numerous community resources for survivors of sexual abuse. Safe Passage is a domestic violence and sexual assault counseling center. We are also fortunate to have Youth Service Bureau, the Ben Gordon Center, Family Service Agency. We have multiple private agencies within the DeKalb County and surrounding counties. We also have the Department of Children and Family Services, as well as the DeKalb Police Department.